ruining your own life, all because you don't want to accept the fact that you're hurt. Your lack of the ability to delve deeper and to do some self-reflection is costing you the people that you love. Did I gag you? I bet I did. I bet I did. Hi guys, it's me, Angelis, and as you can tell by the intro, we're gonna talk about some pretty hefty stuff, okay? And if that triggered you, then I think you might need this more than you think. Also, did you notice how this time I didn't take like a whole month to post? Did you notice? I'm getting way better, I promise. I told myself that I was gonna be a lot more consistent, and that was the plan originally, but when I first got into making like videos, like, what was it, like 2 months ago? I didn't understand, like, this is a lot of work. Not only do you have to like come up with the ideas, record it, and edit it, you also have to make time for all of this, and then, yeah. But I'm doing it, and I'm gonna be way more consistent. At least once a week. Don't quote me on that. No, quote me on it. Hold me responsible. Anyhow, let's get into it, shall we? As I mentioned in my previous video, I think that anger, well, not just anger, feelings in general always come with other feelings behind it. Like when someone is upset or mad, right? They're not just mad. It's almost always another feeling behind that. I talked about the onion. You guys remember the onion in my last video? The onion? Yeah. So the way I see feelings like anger is like, yeah, the outside is anger. But if you really keep going at it, you know, a couple tears in your eyes, that's okay. But if you just peel that and you're looking deep, you see that there's something else. There's feelings underneath. However, there are a lot of people out there that they're not comfortable with delving that deep. So what does that mean? It means that they only accept the anger. They don't accept that they're feeling things behind that anger, no. They only accept the fact that they are upset. When you accept anger without any want or interest in addressing it, it builds up. It is one of those feelings that with enough time, it will grow. And if you let it grow enough, you just might pop. And what would happen if you explode around someone who didn't deserve it? What would happen if all of that anger came out onto someone who didn't do anything to you? What then? Because let me tell you, when that has happened to me, I feel horrible. I feel absolutely terrible. Like, how could I have been so irresponsible with my own emotions to the point that now someone else is suffering through my anger? That's not fair. It's not fair. You wouldn't like it if someone did that to you, right? So maybe we shouldn't do it to other people. And how can you avoid doing that? By addressing that you are feeling something else behind the anger. So for example, let's say that you and a friend had planned to see each other and hang out. And then they text you and they're like, hey, I can't go. And they give you a really good reason as to why they can't go. But for some reason, you are still deeply angry and irritated by it. If you were to delve deeper into that anger, you would see, okay, I'm triggered. Something is triggered in me. This person canceling our plans to see each other, it triggered me. It made me upset. Why? Now I know for someone like me, if I were to be in that situation and I ask myself, okay, why am I feeling this way? I know right off the bat, it's because I have abandonment issues. And so when someone cancels plans with me, my brain is very quick to be like, hey, they're avoiding you, they don't like you anymore, they actually don't want to be around you, and they're leaving you because they don't like you and you're so annoying. Is that really dramatic? Yeah, I'm a little traumatized, believe me be. I have since done the work so that that isn't my initial reaction anymore, and that I'm like, hey, you're just projecting, it's nothing deeper than what it is, relax. However, how would I come to that conclusion if I just accepted the anger, the initial anger, and didn't try to look deeper into that? And then, because I didn't try to look deeper into that, I could have projected on the anger onto that friend, and then I would have lost a really good friend. Accepting that that anger has an origin and a trigger will save you and the people that you love from unnecessary situations. Just by you sitting down and reflecting and thinking, okay, why am I so angry? That alone is gonna help you so much. Now, I know I mentioned a negative situation. However, I don't believe that anger is always a bad thing. I think it's our body, mind's way of telling us, like, hey, something is wrong. Something within you has not been addressed, and you need to address it. However, if you let that anger go unaddressed for too long, it'll grow, right? It'll get bigger and bigger until one day you pop. And what would happen if you pop around the wrong person? You're not gonna feel good. You're not gonna feel great if you start going off, basically projecting on someone who doesn't deserve it, someone who hasn't done anything to you, someone who cares about you. You're not gonna feel good. That's why it's so important to address it while you notice it, so that you can stop it from harboring inside of you and making you a bitter, cold, just relentless human being. Who wants to be a cold, bitter person? Not me. And that leads me to the entire reason why I'm even making this video. A couple of days ago, I got in a really bad argument with a family member of mine who I really love and who really loves me, but we just have very different ways of seeing things. And because of this, we knock heads a lot. Now, this person was born in a complete different time than me, a long time ago. And so their experiences are something that I keep in mind, right? I understand that times are different, and it's hard to adapt when times are changing so fast. For someone who was used to seeing the world a certain way, and then now it's just something else, right? So when we got into this argument, this person was saying some pretty hurtful things. I'm not gonna lie, it did hurt my feelings. But when I thought about, I guess, the validity of the things she was saying, I was like, wait, that's not true. Like, that's not my truth. I'm not that person that she's describing. I didn't hurt her this way. Why is she saying these things if I never did that to her? Where is this coming from? And then I realized, okay, people have done that to you before. People have hurt you, betrayed your trust, took from you before. And because of that, you have now instilled in your mind that everyone around you is gonna do that to you every single time you let them in. If I didn't reflect on that and let myself think a little deeper, I wouldn't have come to that conclusion. And it does suck, I'm not gonna lie, that sometimes you have to be the one to understand someone else's pain for them. Let me elaborate. You might be dealing, how I am, with an emotionally unavailable family member. And they might be someone who is okay with expressing with their anger, but nothing beneath that. And so now you have to be put in a position where you're psychoanalyzing them just to understand their brain. And it's not fair. No, it's not fair that you have to be the one to empathize or make sense of things because that person refuses to talk about the things that have hurt them before. It's not fair, unfortunately. But you can't change someone else. Yeah, you can't do that. And if someone isn't open to talk about it, what can you do? You know, you can't heal someone else for them. That's just not something we can do, and that you shouldn't want to fix someone else. And I know that that's hard, especially when you love someone. You just want to make sure that they're okay. But you cannot drive yourself insane trying to help someone who doesn't want to be helped. Then, also, that's another thing. If you are so angry and not accepting that you are feeling anything else, to the point where other people have to figure that out for you, that's a problem. That's a big problem, because you know what? People get tired. People might do it at first because they love you and they want to keep you in their lives, but some people, they get tired. No one wants to do the work for someone else. It's not fair. You do not want to be the reason why people are avoiding you. You don't want it so that when people think of you, they think of, yeah, that really, like, she's so angry all the time and she's like picks a fight over everything. That's the worst, especially when you know that you don't want to be that type of person. That's why, again, it's important for you to do the work. Is it gonna be easy? No. Is it gonna hurt? Yeah, it's gonna hurt real bad, because that's how you heal from things. You have to feel them first, babe. You have to feel them first before you're able to let it go, absorb the lesson, and leave it behind. My biggest fear is like getting older and becoming like a really angry old lady. That is my biggest fear. Thinking about just being so negative all the time and driving people away because of that, that's like hell for me, because there's no one else to blame for your own self for driving the people that you love away. And that's horrible, because now you're like, dang, I don't even like myself. So you know what, if you have to take out a notebook, do it. Take out the notebook, take out the journal, ask yourself the heavy questions. Why am I like this? Why do I feel this way? Why is it that these certain behaviors trigger me so much and send me into these angry spirals? Why? Because when you put that question out there and you open yourself up to receiving the answer, that is growth. Congratulations. You have now tackled one of the hard parts. There are more hard parts ahead, but you tackled one of them already. Why can't you do the rest? You can. You're capable. You're a smart individual. You can do it. It's really easy to be in a situation like that and just think, wow, I'm a horrible person. Like, I'm a terrible human being. But you should also give yourself some mercy and some grace, because a lot of the time, the reason why you're so angry is because you've been deeply hurt and affected by other people's behavior, maybe growing up as a child, you know? So give yourself some grace. You are like this for a reason. You didn't just spawn out of here, unless you were birthed from Satan's canal. You didn't just show up angry, you know? So again, be gentle with yourself, but also acknowledge if there is something wrong. That's pretty much everything I have to say. I know this is drastically shorter than all of my other sit-down videos. But yeah, like I said, this was just something I thought about making because of what I experienced this week. So I hadn't planned it out all that much. I just really had some things I needed to say, and that's pretty much it. So thank you so much for clicking on my video, for watching. If I said anything that resonates with you, I hope it helped. If it didn't, I'm sorry. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!